Hey everyone, it's the Four Gun Guy, and today I'm going to do a review of an oldie but goodie. This is the Nightforce ATACR 7 to 35 56 millimeter scope. This has been out for a long time, and this is the second Nightforce that I've owned, and I bought this because of the NX6 that I bought and did a review on about 2 months ago. Loved that glass, and I thought, wow, I want to get an ATACR and see how that scope looks. So if you're ready to go, let's get to it. Let's start off with what comes in the box. I've got my little cheat sheet here and I'll put this up there. We've got some really nice Tenebrex scope caps. I don't use those, but they are very, very nice. It's got the regular stuff, the cleaning cloth and whatnot. It does come with the power throw lever, which is a nice option to have in this, so it's not something extra that I had to buy. And it does come with the sunshade. So I don't have the sunshade on here, but it did come with a sunshade, which is another thing that when you're looking at scopes, you may want to think about how much extra a sunshade is for the scope. So with those things thrown in, I think it's a pretty good value. This is probably about $500 to $600 more than a Vortex Razor Gen 3 that you could find on, say, Euro Optic on sale. And I actually picked this up as a demo, so I got a little bit of money off of this, and I would say overall I probably saved $1,000 over a quote brand new, but this thing came in a brand new box. It looked like it was brand new. So look out for stuff like that when you're looking at these. Let's go ahead and get into the functionality and the specs. All right, well, again, I'm going to kind of go down these specs. I'll put them up here alongside of me, or I might just put them in a large bar down here, because I know a lot of people are looking at my videos on a phone, so I want to make things large enough so you can see. The eye relief on this is fantastic. It's not a problem for me at all. It was easy to get behind and easy to stay behind, just like the NX6. The one thing that's going to be a little different than in this one than some other scopes you might have, like the Vortex Razor Gen 3, is the field of view is going to be a little tighter with this one, especially against something like a Collis 540i. But I'm okay with that shorter or that tighter field of view, and I think sometimes that kind of hinders us when you've got a wide field of view, because I think sometimes you still feel that you have to increase magnification to either come into where you can see the target or come into where you can actually see the reticle. So I was happy with the field of view on this. As far as the parallax goes, it is numbered parallax. It does go down to 10 meters, which this would be good for rimfire. If you wanted to spend all that money on a scope for a rimfire rifle, you could do that. And then as far as the weight goes, it is 39.3 ounces. So it's not really light, but it's not super heavy either, in my opinion. And again, on a PRS rifle, I want weight, so I'm fine with a little heavier scope. Well, first things first, this thing's built like a tank. Now, Nightforce does have military grade optics, and I think from what I've read, they take some of that and bring it into the commercial area, commercial space. My understanding is that their bodies are 6 times thicker than most other scopes. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it does seem like it's built like a tank. The machining is fantastic on this scope. Nothing at all wrong with the machining. If we start at the ocular back here, I do like that it has a locking ocular. Now, this may kind of confuse you when you first get it, because it'll be locked and you'll try to adjust it like you do other scopes, and it'll be kind of a pain. Just loosen this ring, adjust your ocular, and then tighten this ring back up and it'll lock right on. I really like that feature. Magnification, very smooth, but you'll notice one thing here. Your ocular moves with the magnification. So if you've got something like a trigger cam, it's going to cant, and you'll see it in the range time video. It's going to cant as you move your magnification up and down. So just make sure that you're set where you want to be if you're going to use something like a trigger cam. 34 millimeter tube, fantastic 56 millimeter objective. I'll get to that in a second though. So let's come up to these turrets. The turrets are very good in my opinion. Very tactile, the elevation turret is. It has a 0 stop. It is non-locking, which I don't care about anymore. In fact, on Razor Gen 3s now, people are getting the ring so it doesn't lock. So I'm fine with that. And it's got just the right amount of tactileness that it's not mushy, but it's not super, super tactile. Now, the one thing is it's got a capped windage turret, just like that NX6 did. And this bugs me. It's black. So I paid for this kind of burnt bronze color. And when I take this cap off, this is black. It just bothers me. That's all. You've been making this thing for how many years and you can't make this the same color as the rest of the scope, but okay. The windage turret is okay, right? It's not super, super tactile like the elevation turret is. And the numbering is very small because it is a smaller capped turret. So if dialing is something that you do a lot of on windage and you want to look at your turret when you're dialing on a stage, let's say, you may have some issues with that. If you're like me, to where you're just dialing your initial wind and then holding throughout the stage, this shouldn't bother you at all. And then again, as I said before, the parallax is very smooth and it is numbered. So I do like that on this. Again, I don't really care if parallax is numbered or not, but having it numbered is just fine for me. Illumination, it has a few levels of illumination, and the glass in this thing is exceptional. I will say it is exceptional glass. This does blow the Gen 3 away in my opinion, and that's why this scope is on my competition rifle now. The Gen 3 is not, because I just think the glass in this is that far superior to my eyes. Remember guys, it's to my eyes than the Razor Gen 3. So with that being said, let's look at that reticle. This is the Mill XT reticle and I love it. It's got a lot going for it here. It's got 5 mils of downward elevation, if you think of it that way. And it's got, I think, what, 13 mils of elevation built into this tree reticle. Now, I do like the fact that it does have a 1/2 mil indicator. If you look at the windage axis there and go out to the 4/10 and the 6/10, those two subtensions are pointing upwards, which gives you a 1/2 mil in between those, right? Which I'm fine with that and I like it. I also like that the tree starts at, or the numbering starts at 1 on the windage axis. Some start way out there at 3 and 4 and you're kind of hunting for where you are. And then on the vertical or elevation axis, I also like the fact that it starts at 1. The tree does, the branch comes out at 1. So you're not kind of hunting around if you need to do some holding over. So yeah, this reticle and that center dot does not hide the target at all. It's very well done. So, love the reticle. I tell you what, let's get out to the range so we can get behind this thing and get some views through the glass. Range time is going to be a little wonky in this video because I actually shot the whole video up there, but I didn't like how the intro turned out up to the range time. So here's what I'm going to do. Look, I've got a video I just shot this past weekend because the mirage was really, really low. So I'm going to play that video first, okay, full screen. And it's at 500 yards and you'll be able to see how good the scope is. Then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to show another video. I'll kind of move over or something at 1,000 yards so you can see what you're looking at and the impact. The problem with the 1,000-yard video was I was running it in slower motion because we were doing some other stuff out there, so it didn't pick up any audio. So let's do that. Here I'm going to run this 500-yard, then we'll come back for the 1,000. All right, let's go 500 yards. See what we got here. There's an impact. Impact. But you can really see, I mean, I'm at 18 power here, which is what I would be shooting in a match. And luckily we have a pretty clear day today. The wind is laid down a little bit and it's not miragey yet. So this is 500 yards. I mean, just wonderful glass. These are the targets at 646, and you can really see those. Let me come in just a little bit here and see if I'm picking this up. You can see a little bit of mirage now, and you can see that yellow target at 646. So all in all, I mean, the glass on this thing is just phenomenal. Okay, I'm going to roll this thing, and again, this was on a day, I'm going to try to clean this up just a little bit, but this was on a day to where there was kind of a lot of mirage, and this was at 1,000 yards. You'll see the shot right there, and now because it's in slow motion, it's going to take a second for the dot to show up on the target, but you'll see it. I'll point it out to you on here. But it was very, very cool to be able to see that impact at 1,000 yards out there. And again, the trigger cam does not do this thing any justice, guys, none at all. But I can tell you that it was very easy for me to see my impacts on that plate. So I tell you what, let's get back out to the range and we'll have some final thoughts. Let's talk final thoughts here out at the range, because I've been shooting this today, zeroed it, shot it. You saw the footage here at the range. I love this scope. It's a really, really good scope. This will replace my Vortex Razor Gen 3 that's been on this rifle. And I'm going to tell you why for a couple of reasons, and then why it might be a challenge for some other reasons. So here we go. Glass blows the Gen 3 out of the water, period, end of story, for my eyes. Guys, I say this all the time. I will keep saying it. You can't go by what I say. Don't go by what Tony says, right? I do these reviews. I'm looking through scopes. I'm telling you what I see, what I like, what's working for me and my eyes. That's why I got this scope. That's the only reason I got this scope, was because, hey, that NX6 looked really good. Talked to some guys who own ATACRs, and they said, yeah, they're good scopes. So that being said, glass-wise, this for me blows the Gen 3 out of the water. This to me as well is equal to the Zicos I used to own. My opinion, again, with my eyes. I realize someone's going to come on and go, oh, the Zico is the best scope, or the Tangent Theta, or the Collis, or this or that, or the March, or I get it. I get it. They're all good scopes. And remember, guys, I paid cash money for this scope. Nightforce doesn't even know who I am. I paid my money for this scope and for that NX6. So I have nothing to gain by telling you to go buy this scope. I'm not telling you to go buy this scope. I'm telling you what I like about it. Parallax range. If I didn't, I can tell you that the range in parallax is very forgiving here. And in this video that I did with Travis and Lee, they'll make that same statement. Very forgiving parallax range in this scope. Turrets, again, I like the tactileness of the elevation turret. I don't care for the mushiness of the windage turret. I think this is a great center fire scope. You see that I did not even run it on a rimfire rifle. I think this is way overkill for a rimfire scope. I think the NX6 would be good if it wasn't for the turrets. But you'll see in the other video I did with the guys that there are some alternatives out there for rimfire. The reticle, Love the reticle. I think this is one of the best reticles. This is the Mill XT. I think it's one of the best reticles on the market. I think it's very clean, very clear to see. It doesn't interfere with your target acquisition or staying on the target. So I like that aspect of it. Illumination, I did do illumination out here. I just didn't put it in the video. But it is daylight bright. It's got good illumination on it. And other than that, I really, really like this scope. I think it's a good buy. I think if you have now, retail on this is $3,800. So if you're going on like Euro Optic, it's $3,800. I got a PRS discount plus. I got this as a showroom model, which saved me about $1,000. So I thought that was a good deal. And it came in a brand new box, as you saw. Everything came with it. It looks like it was just brand new off the shelf. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all the comments, likes, and subs, especially. And until next time, get the right scope for what you need, can afford, and want to spend, and shoot straight.